So where do I begin? So I feel like all of us have known each other for many, 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 many lifetimes. Probably as star seeds, then again as spirit animals, elementals. And this is how I see us all. And you guys could chime in and tell me if you feel us too. So I see Ismael as a white lion. Taylor is like a regularly colored lion.
A regularly colored?
Regularly colored lion. Like
I feel kind of gold.
Yeah, kind of gold, like, regularly colored lion, like standard. Sorry, Taylor. I know you don't want to be standard. You don't want to be a basic.
No, I'll take a gold lion.
Yeah. Okay, he's a golden lion. There you go. That sounds better. But Ishmael's kind of like an albino lion. That's what I'm seeing. Like very special, pure. That's what I'm seeing. And then Sophia's a fairy, and then BA is a leopard, and then I'm a dragon.
There's a celestial dragon.
I'm a green dragon. And all of us have traveled together through many lifetimes to raise the cosmic awareness, raise cosmic vibrations, and awaken people into 5D New Earth. And that's exactly what we're doing with this school. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I know. Ishmael, do you ever see yourself as a white lion in any incarnations?
Well, because I did originate in Lyra, that was my first embodiment. When I came into the material realms, I was the chief lion of the Lyrans. And then I became the original, I guess, human, the first human, incarnated version of Michael. In other words, like Michael's firstborn, as Amelius, king of Lyra. So yeah, I've always resonated with that lineage of the lion, you know. Yeah, it's strong in my blood.
Yeah, and when we do the Starseed astrology class, we'll have to show your chart, how you're a Lyran. I'm really excited to do that for you.
No way.
I already figured out Sophia's. That's how Taylor and I cracked the code of Starseed astrology yesterday. We did. We were like really studying her chart for like proof that she's a Palladian, because like she looks so Palladian.
She's a purebred.
Yeah, she's pure. Like she's pure Palladian. So that was like how we cracked the code, and it took a while actually.
You see that in the chart.
Oh well, we'll tell you. We'll tell you after, but we'll tell the public in the class because it's interesting. But we did essentially we were trying to crack it through past life charts, tropical and sidereal astrology, and we're almost like two journalists, and we're like so focused because the Pleiades are 29 degrees Taurus, and we're trying to connect your star chart to 29 degrees Taurus, and going through all the combinations and permutations possible through all the different types of astrology to connect it. And then finally, like we took a day off, and Sarah just kept going and cracked the code for how it was, because I knew you were Pleiadian, like I said, purebred. Ishmael and I believe even BA and Sarah, I think we're all kind of hybrid. But yeah, Sarah and I were fixed. We're like, no, Sophia's pure. So if we use this chart as the template, we'll be able to crack the code with everyone else's charts.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened. Because I had to give it up for a little bit. You know, things should be easy. Download should be easy. And when it gets too complicated, you know, just to like switch it up. Just go do something else, go meditate, go eat some food, whatever you need to do, and then come back to it later. And it's when your mind's in that relaxed state, not in that hypervigilant state, is when we receive downloads.
Yeah, so, relate to that. That is so true, Sarah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even as a writer, you know, if I'm not in that state of mind, there's no transmissions coming in. I can't write anything. You know, it's like I'll sit there in front of the computer. I'm like, okay, what am I going to say next? Yeah. When I'm in that state of mind, it just kind of flows effortlessly, and I'm just like, I'll be doing that for like an hour or two, and then time goes by so fast, and it's been 2 hours, and I got to remind myself to eat. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's like when you're in it, you're in it. It just flows. And that's how we know to keep going. It's with the flow. But it's like if we have to push into that. And I think that's why a lot of us don't work with those 9-to-5 jobs, even though I feel like all of us have those 9-to-5 jobs and we're very successful in those. But once you start that ascension process, you can't work in that forced schedule anymore. You can't be a creative, dynamic being in a forced schedule.
Taylor's like, no. I'm just looking at Taylor's face. Taylor, what are you shaking your head for?
I was not getting a 9-to-5 job. I'm a terrible employee and a fantastic entrepreneur. Okay? I don't know how else to put it. I can't work for other people. I can only work for myself. I will put in 14 hours a day for myself, and I will go hide in a closet for someone else.
I think Literally.
I used to work in a hotel. I had the master key to every single room there, and I had a radio, so I would just peace out and go work on my laptop my entire shifts, and they'd have to send a search party for me.
It's hilarious.
I relate. I can't do.
Yeah.
I've done the 9 to 5. I've tried every single job. I'm like, I can't just. I get mad when someone tells me what to do because I'm just a powerful person. So when someone's like, "You need to be here on time," I'm like, "I was at Starbucks getting a coffee. I don't really understand like why you're telling me because I'm 5 minutes late. Like, you want me to perform my best or my worst? Like, don't tell me what to do."
I need to be caffeinated. I need to be caffeinated to get through the shift. So
Exactly. To deal with your BS, I need caffeine. What do you want from me?
right, I'm out of here. Like, I was in like the most like militaristic, besides the military environment that you can possibly be in, public schools, where like everything is regimented by bells. It was like I have to run to pee, and there's a line to pee. It's like I can't deal with this anymore. I want to pee when I want to pee. I want to eat when I want to eat. Like, no, it's just not going to work. Like, humans thrive when they have space to create, not when they're on some militaristic schedule. So I feel like in New Earth, and that's part of our school too. It's like New Earth is going to need schools for children where they can like learn at their own pace and not be in these like regimented schedules, because that's like the Capricorn world when, what is Capricorn ruled by? Satan, the devil. Devil card.
This whole 9 to 5 thing has designed as modern day slavery. So that's why it's very hard for the star seeds to, handle a 9 to 5 job or even be told what to do. It's like that for all of us, it's hard for me to work in a company where I have somebody telling me when to clock in, when not to clock in, or what to do. It's very uncomfortable, and just like Taylor, I'd rather work for myself and work 20 hours a day and barely sleep than work for somebody else for 2 hours a day. It's just, and that's what I've been doing now. I've been doing interviews after interviews, and it's just, I love it. I've been writing, but I'm working for myself.
Yeah. You're killing it. You're building your own empire. That's what we're all doing. We're all making ourselves rich. So,
well, it's a collective empire that we're all building together.
Yeah.
Yes.
High vibe.
Yeah.
Sophia, what's your how do you do at jobs? I feel like I know the answer. I want to hear it from you. From standard jobs versus teaching astrology. What are your thoughts?
I always hated jobs in this world. I just didn't get it. I was like, I'd rather not live on Earth if I have to live my life in a 9 to 5.
I knew you were going to say that. I feel it.
And it's not my thing.
Your Pisces make
Realm is by Saturn and the moon, like together. Like the energies together, like is what rules this realm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you feel passionate about something, you could do it the rest of your life. Yeah.
Then it doesn't even feel like work. Like the money doesn't matter. Nothing matters. If you're passionate about something, that's like I
agree with you, Sophia. That's so true. If you're passionate about something, it's not about how much you're making. It's that you're doing what you like to do, and that's where it's at, I think.
Yeah. We're all thriving now, and it's not like you both were saying, it's not just about money. It's just about like every day seems effortless. And it seems absolutely effortless because we're living in our purpose, and that's like something that the Matrix tries to like really just siphon off of people, their purpose, so that they become automatons, like that movie Minions, right? They just become like minions doing the bidding of, the dark, and they just live like purposeless lives. And when you're in your purpose, like every day feels like you're on vacation. Every day feels like a dream.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of that, are you guys coming to Key West for my birthday?
Yeah. Tell me the dates and I'll buy the
Okay, because it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a great weekend. Okay, we'll talk about this after the show.
Yeah, and Ismael, you're invited too, but we'll talk about
everyone is invited. Of course, all the stars.
Everyone's invited. Yeah.
Starseed Key West weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
So all of us, I think. Okay, I know this story isn't that sexy, but I think all of us met through Instagram. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so Sarah, should we talk about that, or do you want to do a little Akashic reading, or do you want to like talk about how we're all connected in past lives? Because our path. Well, okay, let's talk a tiny bit about real life, because forget meeting on Instagram, but like what we did with that. So BA and I started a podcast together, and that was kind of the thing within the first few weeks. Me, BA started a podcast, and then Sarah and I started a separate podcast, and that was the genesis of all of this. And that was over a year. It was probably almost a year ago to the day.
Yeah, it's been a year.
Yeah, it's been a year.
because I looked at my calendar actually, and I remember you and I were working on the podcast, trying to figure out how to use Zoom.
Yes, yeah, we're doing like how do you stream Zoom on YouTube and all that. And the guests on our podcast, Sarah, you were our first guest. Sophia was one of our guests, and Ishmael was one of our guests.
Wow.
That's how like all of this began. Like we're all like friends in different ways and did lives or knew each other, but that rapport for working together, the foundation of all of that was my NBA's podcast, and later, Sarah, you and I with Cosmic Love. So that's kind of like that's how it just started. I don't know. What do you think, Sarah? What does anyone else think?
I feel like we were all just like drawn to each other, and it feels very comfortable. Like I was talking about effortlessness. It's just easy. There are people that I've worked with for years and years, or even family members that I've known my whole life, where I barely know them. And it's not because there's any bad blood or anything. It just doesn't work. And I feel like all of us are like truly soul family. Like it's just so easy. The rapport, the connections are just so easy that, from little seeds, like just starting these tiny podcasts, like grew this whole entire school with all these classes where you can't find those kind of classes like anywhere else on earth. It's amazing. So we're definitely all cosmically connected. I've seen things. I mean, I told you guys about what I saw. I suppose that's our star seed lives. I suppose that. I've seen other things. BA and I were married in one lifetime, and which is funny. And then we got a psychic reading in Salem, and I saw it too. The lady said we were twins, not twin flames. She tried to tell me we were twin flames. I was like, no. I was like, I love BA, but not like that.
Yeah. What, you don't love me? I'm just kidding.
I love you. Yeah, we're more like twin sisters. That's what it's like. And Sophia, I was married to Sophia in one lifetime, but it was like not a sexual marriage. I was just like protecting her. And I don't know how I'm connected to Ishmael exactly, but I feel like we've worked together a lot. Perhaps in like ancient Egypt, I do see that. And I know I've known Taylor throughout many lifetimes as well. So we're just like, we're all connected. It's amazing.
Does anyone else, first off, that's fucking rad. Second, we are a room full of clairvoyants, psychics, Akashic readers. Does anybody else want to add to some of their past life knowings of us? Like Ishmael, Sophia, do you guys have any hits you want to share?
Go ahead, Sophia, if you want to go first.
I don't know. I don't really know. When I see people and that I know them from a past life, I just have a feeling that they're familiar and like I know them, but I never really know what it is until I've known them for a while. Like I've had people that I find out like later I'll get like visions. I'm like, oh, that's how I know them from a past life, but I don't really know how. But I definitely know you all from a past life because you all seem familiar to me.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Go ahead, Ishmael. We want to know.
That's a natural, attraction where we gravitate in every lifetime with each other. It's like we're always doing the same thing, and that's the way I see it. I believe that every person in your life that is now coming into your life is because you've worked together before in many lifetimes. So I would say that during Atlantean times, we were probably the teachers of the ancient mystery schools,
Mm-hmm.
During Egyptian times, we probably had our own school of mystery. School teachings where we taught alchemy, magic, science, and all that stuff, And so I think that, it's just history repeating itself again. It's a different time now, but we're doing the same thing. So.
Yeah.
It's like in every lifetime, every incarnation, across space and time, it always comes back to this again and again. And the path to this, it matches the era that we're in, but it's also us breaking the threshold or pushing the boundaries of whatever time that we're in. We are the architects, we are the healers of this new earth, and it is reflected in this institute that we've started. And we do this again and again as the architects and the healers in every lifetime. This core group here, it's this impenetrable circle, and some of us are, further along, and some of us are helping the others along the way right now. And it has nothing to do with age. It's goes back and forth, like Sarah, you and I were like very compatible in our teaching style, but there's some ways in which like I've learned so much from Sophia too. And then BA's just like my fucking ride or die, just like started all this in the trenches with me. And then Ishmael, we have this like we both came into each other's lives in a very mutually beneficial time. Like just alchemically, like I needed you, you needed me. Like let's start this right now. And Ishmael's kind of the fuel that really launched. It was like my idea, but his fuel that launched it. You know, I don't know. Ishmael, you got any thoughts on that?
I agree, brother. I think that it was all divinely orchestrated, by each and every single one of our higher selves that is guiding us to do what we're doing here. And so, yeah, I felt the same way when I met you. I felt like there was something deeper than just a friendship. Like, wait a minute, we have something that we need to do here together. We have a project that we need to finalize, something that we failed to do in Egyptian times and Atlantean times, but this time we're going to be successful. Let's do, what I mean?
Yeah. And it's so wild because you're talking about Egyptian times and Atlantean times, but you and I met at a Starbucks to talk about this. So like the setting doesn't matter. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, dude, it's what you do with it. Focus, will, and intention. Sarah and I just got out of the magic classes. I teach all the time. Focus, will, and intention. Who gives a shit, like, if you live in a studio or a mansion? It's like, this is our time. And as the architects, as the healers, as the magicians, as the alchemists, like, we are the creators of this life, and the lattes and the, the energy drinks don't matter. It's the imagination that we put into this stuff,
Yeah. It's all the intention. And we have manifested so much in such a short amount of time because the purpose is for the highest good of the universe. It's not just for greed. It's not just for fame. I know we've had some interesting comments about that, but it doesn't really bother me because I know where I stand. I know where all of us stand, and we're here for the right reasons. We're here to help people. At the end of the day, yeah, it does help us eat, pay our rent, buy clothes, do nice things for ourselves. But we are doing that all for everybody's highest good. So that is such a big deal to the universe that we're going to be rewarded. And anybody who does this kind of work, you're going to be rewarded. That's just a given.
Yeah.
Well, I think overall, if people are doing any type of work or anything that has to do with activating, awakening others or even serving others by teaching them the tools and techniques so that they could access their own power, because that's what it's all about. We're doing a service to the collective.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah, we are serving the collective. And Ishmael, like, you woke up so many people. Like, I feel like your message has just gone across like space and time. It has transcended age, it has transcended race, and it's really amazing. And I feel like all of us, like, you're almost, this is how I see you. It's like I don't want to say the captain, because it's like beyond the captain of the ship. There's some name I can't think of the name right now. It's not like you're driving the ship. It's like you're like at like the control tower.
Switching the power.
Yeah, he's the commander. Exactly, Taylor. He's the commander. He's commander. He is. Yeah, it's kind of sounds like Star Trek, but he's commander.
We get t-shirts.
But in my ship, we're all equal. Every single one of us is the commander to themselves.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, it's true. You don't roll with an iron fist or anything like that. But I just feel like spiritually, he's the commander. He's the commander in chief spiritually. You see it?
So Sarah, you talked about the comments, so we might as well talk a little bit about that, because I have a strong question for you three, because you three are three of my favorite people on the planet by absolutely, so far I can't even express it here. But why do you think you three trigger people? Like, why do people not want to give you guys a chance and like just listen to the podcast and just enjoy your goddess energy? What is it that they're so judgmental of? Like, what is driving these people like into this place of negativity and low vibe comments?
I think it's like collective programming. There's like a wounded feminine, and people tune into that. It's like the collective, like Pisces is tuned into the collective, so like I can feel it. But like, people have always been super judgmental of me and like assume things of me, and people will just do that. But like once we start empowering women and like stepping up and like taking that, I think it will happen less. But like women will like tune into that and do what men do and like bring down other women. But like there's no point of that. Like we need to like embrace our femininity and like not ask for permission to like say what we want, do what we want.
Yeah.
Why are women all misogynistic toward you? I haven't heard one guy say a bad thing, and all these women are like just like heated.
I think it's just a lot of insecurity. And like Sophia was saying, it is programming. It's a lot of, it's instead of being divine feminine, being open and actually being proud of your femininity, it's a lot of women who are very wounded. So they masculinize themselves, by not leaning into their beauty. And then they become very jealous of women who do lean into their beauty. And they use that programming to stereotype as that, oh, you're stupid. You don't have anything to say. You're just, an adult film star, like just, an adult film star. I really laughed at that one. I was like, what gave you that impression, you stupid idiot? I was like, what? I was like, that's ridiculous. Just like,
even if you were, who gives a shit? Who cares? What the fuck does that matter?
I know, but the thing is, it's like, I don't know, we just had like our faces there. It was headshots. It was like nothing. So I thought that was hilarious. And like you said, Taylor, like that's somebody's choice. But to devalue somebody's spirituality and their intelligence based on their looks is really low vibe, and it is wounded energy. I don't care if you're feminine or masculine, but especially if you're feminine, you are not operating in sisterhood, because we should all be here for each other in sisterhood and lift each other up in whatever gifts we have. And we all look different, and some women aren't as blessed physically as others, but that doesn't mean that they're not blessed in other ways. And we're not trying to devalue other women by leaning into our beauty, period. End of story.
Period. Yeah. We're just embracing ourselves, and we came into this earth with this shell. We are more than just our shell. And that's what, for me at least, I've been trying to prove that to people in general my entire life. I'm like, I am so smart. I have a great personality. Like, I'm more than just my shell. Like, I'm here to uplift the collective, and it's just like I'm constantly beaten down by these women that, I don't know, it's just like they've been hurt, and they need to just work on themselves. They need to work on their shadow self. They need to just not hate. And I feel like it's a lot to ask for right now, because they're just coming out of the woodworks. But it's like, at this point, it's like the other day, like we were just like laughing at it. Like the comments are just so funny. Like I was laughing at it. It's like, I don't lose sleep over this stuff, it's
it was so funny. It was so funny. Like BA and I were thinking about making a reel. We might still make it, where we're going to wear like jumpers with turtlenecks and act like, I don't know, we were just like servants, like Handmaid's Tale. And then we're going to like split it with like lingerie, just dancing wild. Because the thing is, it's like we should be in our creative sacral chakra expression of who we are. And that's really going to light us up. Now, if other people don't want to do that, that's fine. And they don't want to watch it, then that's fine. But like, don't knock it. Like, maybe they need to actually lean in more to that side of themselves too. That's probably what it is. They're afraid of their own sexuality.
Yeah.
Never think of that.
So weird that like being feminine means that you're stupider. Like if you're more feminine, people will think you're dumber, or you don't know what's going on. It's like, why can't that be like a different type of intelligence, like wisdom or like whatever?
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely, Sophia. Mm-hmm.
And it's weird too, because like sacred sexuality and divinity just seems so intertwined with me. I mean, anybody ever been to the Sistine Chapel, ever seen Greco-Roman artwork? It is extremely nude and provocative, and it's supposed to be in the image of the gods, which we're modeled after. And it's like, Celtic, the pantheon of Celtic gods and goddesses, extremely sexual. Norse, Egyptian, that sacred sexuality is part of it, the womb of life. This is Isis, this is Diana, this is like all of creation, the divine womb. And like, to live in this like puritanical world where people are telling women to cover up, it's not spiritual, is like, they have it so wrong. It's unbelievable. It's incredible that they think they're entitled to tell someone else to do that. That's against, a free society for starters. That's against, religious and spiritual freedom. And that's against the spirituality that I practice anyway, which embraces sacred sexuality.
Our bodies are nothing to be ashamed of. They're nothing to be ashamed of. And that shame does stem from program. And,
religious programming.
Yeah. Yeah. Like men's bodies, women's bodies, like we need them. We need to have them. Like, and there is no shame around it. Like that, like if you, like Taylor was saying, if you look at Greco-Roman art, like there's women, those Renaissance paintings too, like they're curvy. They're like very juicy and with their breasts are all hanging out and they're posing and they're eating grapes and it's just gorgeous. And if you look at, that art for men too, it's like they're flexing and it's beautiful and it's celebrating the beauty of the human body. And of course, like, we're spiritual beings in a human body. So why not enjoy being in this body while we're in it without hurting anybody or hurting ourselves?
That was perfectly put, Sarah. I love that. I couldn't agree more.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ismael, what are some of your thoughts on this?
I agree. I mean, when you think of the different statues of the Greek gods, when you see Apollo or Hermes, they're always naked, and in some cases, you could actually see their genitalia. I guess if you go to Las Vegas, there's that statue of Apollo, and he's fully naked, and you can see his everything. It's all part of the ancient, mythological characters. They were very sexual. When we see these pictures of these gods, they're hardly wearing anything. They're like half naked.
Yeah.
All they do is they just cover their private parts, or they wear like a toga, and then you can see everything. Yeah, like Hercules. Zeus. They wear hardly anything. They're always showing their physiques. In other words, and the goddesses are the same way.
Yeah. I've gone on this my whole life, and I'll turn it to Sophie on BA in a minute, but like I was telling Taylor earlier today, and I've said this story in my lives many times, but I'll make it quick. But when I worked overseas, and it was a lot of the teachers there were, they had a lot of advanced degrees, master's degrees, multiple master's degrees, multiple PhDs, and a lot of the women there judged me, and they're like, well, you're a blonde, you're from Texas, you're a cheerleader. How could your scores be so high? Maybe we should do an investigation. And I was like, excuse me? Like, they couldn't believe that I taught so well. They couldn't believe because of how I appeared, because I like dressing nicely. I always was stylish, and they would just like leave me snide comments. They're like, oh, you don't know about this, you don't know about that. And then if I said something, that was deemed intelligent, they're like, what? How could she say that about this book or this movie? I can't believe you watched that. It's like, what do you think I do all day? Like, I wasn't even possible. So it's just being judged. It's just judgment.
Yeah, I feel that too. And we'll let the sirens talk. But I just feel like I'm an obsessive reader. You know me, Sarah. Like, I all I do is like read and research all day long, and people are like, oh, that he looks like an egotistical douchebag. He doesn't, he can't be smarter, doesn't know what he's doing. And I get called out for being like, the thing people say to undercut me is that like, oh, he's all about money. I'm like, dude, I live in the worst fucking neighborhood in Los Angeles, and there's like loft that's like this kickboxing dojo that any one of you are kind of like sketched out coming over for, and I give my money to everyone I know. I don't want anything. I have everything. I wear a stupid black shirt every day. It's just, there's nothing I want.
Your outfits are like a cartoon character.
Yeah.
No, actually, you remind me of the fonts. The fonts.
Yeah. Exactly. That's before Sophia's time. Is it show Happy Days where there's like the biker, the 50s guy?
Those black shirts with the jeans,
yes,
rings.
But it's like people say, "Oh, I'm doing the mystic arts for money." I'm like, I want nothing. I don't give a fuck about money at all. Like, I would rather, I tell people I invest in people. Like, I don't have any materialistic desires.
You do. You're pure heart, and you have invested in people, and that's good karma coming back to you for everything that you've done. Yes. When you get back tenfold.
Yeah, definitely. That's what matters. The heart. The heart matters more than the outside and all the judgment. And all of us are divinely blessed because of all the beauty that we put into the earth. That has nothing to do with our physical beauty. It has everything to do with how beautiful we are inside. And like BA, when women or even men misjudge you, I'm like, you're the most kind, giving person that I've ever met, especially like women that I've ever met. Like, you don't compete with other women. You give the homeless, like you give to the women's shelter. You speak at the women's shelter. Like, you're a courageous, wonderful, charitable, loving soul. And you are blessed because of it. And you've gone through it too, but you're blessed now.
You're gonna make me cry on air right now. That was.
I want to like add on that. I want to like put some layers on BA, because you and I have worked together obviously for fun, but then in like our podcast and business capacity for I've known you like almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
You have been nothing but positive the entire time. And you and I have had insane business meetings together, like hours and hours and hours on the phone, filling out papers, dealing with financial situations. You were always positive. And I know you well enough where it's like you couldn't have possibly faked it the whole time. I've known you too long now.
Yeah.
You are always positive. You always have nice things to say. You always have love to give. You always give people chances. You never talk shit about anybody ever. Like your heart is just always full, and you're so positive all the time. And you are like kind of the light of this group, you know? It's like, I don't know, it's amazing. I just want you to know that here too on the podcast. I love you.
Oh, you guys both too.
I know, right?
Thank you.
Love.
My soulmate, man.
It's nice to hear that once in a while because I don't hear that all the time.
Yeah, you're my fucking ride or die soulmate in this crazy life.
Love you both.
Oh. All right. Sarah, do we go around the room?
You just give everybody hugs.
I know.
We're all here together. We just all hug. Oh. Anyways.
I know, right?
Yeah. So, you know what? Let's talk about this now. So, as this crazy world is getting crazier, and as the solar flash is approaching, like my space weather app is going off many times a day. I don't know if you guys have that. I'm sure Ishmael has the space weather live app. It's going solar flare, solar flare, solar flare. You know, what can we do? What can we all do to contribute to keeping things light, keeping things fun, keeping things humorous during this very bizarre time and transitional chapter on Earth? So whoever wants to go first.
I say just stay in control of your own thoughts and your own emotions, and don't react to the circumstances, because our thoughts and our emotions are what's constantly co-creating our own reality every second of the day. So, don't let other people affect you guys. Just stay in your power, because when you react, you actually begin to give your power away. And that's why I don't react to some of the haters out there that are trying to destroy my character. People are
Oh no.
The energy is too strong.
All over social. He's not worth my time. Exactly. It's like he's only portraying a reflection of his own unwounded masculinity, and that's what haters do. Haters reflect their own internal imbalance on others, and so that's why I don't respond to people, because it's not worth giving my energy. I stay in my power by doing so. I do pray for them, though, of course, because they're still children of the one. They're just very unhealed.
Yeah, I think a lot of us are going through this with family members as well. And for the people who are watching on YouTube, when I say us, I'm not just talking about the people on this video. I'm talking about us as in Starseed. So that's what I mean by the pronoun us. I needed to clarify that for a few people out there. Yeah.
Yes, because the comments I'm reading right now, like we need to clarify that. Like we're talking about all of you.
Yes.
Not just us.
Yes, exactly.
Well, I just want to add to Ishmael's point, because I'm not as evolved when it comes to that. I'm extremely protective, and one of the reasons why I'm very protective, it's more so I think it's about BA and Sophia, because we're all bringing you into this. I've seen potential in you two for a long time. And I knew when we started the Mystic Arts eventually that you two would be coming in as teachers. And I want that because it's kind of under my guidance a little bit. I want it to be a safe space for you two, because I know that in time you guys are going to be the best. And I don't want to see people interfere with that too early. Ishmael, you've been teaching and talking about starseed cosmology and researching it 20 years. Sarah, you've been doing astrology for forever. And I want to bring in Sophia and BA into a safe space here at the Mystic Arts that, I know that people are giving you guys chances and that you are defended, that people have your back, and they need to just give you a chance and take your classes. And so when I see people putting, saying judgmental things to you two, it makes me think I know you won't, because you're way too strong for this, but I don't want either of you two to walk out because it hurt you and you're like, why should I do this? Everybody's just going to hate me anyway. Fuck all this. I'm quitting the Mystic Arts. So
Peter's going to hate. No, I don't care about that.
No, I know you don't. I know.
To respond. I don't think you need to even react or respond. It doesn't matter. It doesn't get to me. I think it's just stupid. It's coming from a lower place, a lower vibration. So it doesn't matter.
Chẳng thể quên khi cơn mưa đêm lại về. Em đã quên lời thề và ta như đông chìm sâu. Không còn mơ em anh nhận màu. Em chỉ cần mơ đâu em chỉ còn là những con mưa vô giá cho bên mơ em không mơ anh. Anh một đêm mơ chỉ cho bên em không được cần nhớ và chỉ có em không còn nhớ và người ta bên nhau như ngã tớ. Muốn nhớ về say em chỉ có mấy em ở đây và anh như muốn chết đi nhưng không muốn em mơ mày. Tình yêu làm cho ta đau đầu không em như nằm mơ màu. Anh như đêm mong cầu và mưa bên em ngủ sầu. Chào các bạn mai em mơ chỉ có bên em nhưng đừng có mơ. Em bên ai dài em muốn bên ai anh không mong gì hơn chỉ mong em sẽ ở đây ôm anh thật gần. Anh chỉ mong đôi ta được có nhau mà đừng em đâu anh có em muốn ở bên ai có em ta sẽ trao nhau môi hôn thật sâu ôm anh.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away. As you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away. Cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Got a build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts.
yeah.